computer. Hello, everybody. This is MoveEasy Yoga with Via, and today's date is November 16th, 2021. We're going to start in the ordinary fashion, my new ordinary fashion, with your legs up on a chair or a brick, static rest, 7 minutes. While you're here, just watching your breath. Whenever you feel good, hold on to the feeling for at least 17 or 17 seconds. Hold on to it. So whenever you find a place that feels good, see if you can capture it for a few seconds. This is the reason I'm suggesting this will expand the feel good. It will enlarge your feeling goodness. Stay there. And just move your head right to left. Look right, look left. About 6 times. Come back to center. Let's see if I can separate vagus nerve and head ramping. Let's start with vagus nerve. Everyone knows the various options for this movement. You can have your hands under your head. You could have a set of therapy balls under your head. You could have a pillow. Without moving anything else, shift your eyeballs to the right. And wait for an involuntary sigh, swallow, yana, or gulp. And then come back to center. Shift your eyeballs to the left. And wait for a sigh, swallow, yawn, or gulp. Come back to center. And do this 2 more times without my cueing at your own pace. Come on back. Head ramping. And you can choose what you put behind your head at the occipital ridge, the base of the skull. And then press the skull into the floor. It slides the skull, your skull slides away from your shoulders. Your chin drops a little because you've pressed the skull into the floor or the balls. And stay there, breathe, and then release. And do that 5 more times. Just pressing the skull, the base of the skull into the floor and the mat. Keep your shoulders relaxed if you can. And release. Number 3. Four. 5. Head ramping 5. 6. Let's stay on the floor supine, but push the chair or the block or philo box, whatever you're using, push that away so that you can you're going to be moving your legs. We're going to do windshield wipers with a sponge ball. So staying on your back and putting a sponge ball between your knees. And then keep the feet on the floor. And then side to side. So this is an alternative to putting a block between the knees. And in a way, it might be a better alternative because you really have to hold on to the ball and it won't pop out. And after you've done that, put a brick, a block underneath your hips at the tailbone. Looking for my blocks. It can be either a high block or low. It doesn't really matter. You could actually put a sponge ball there. What we're going to do is release the Obturator Externus, which is this little muscle that hooks to the pelvis, but also hooks to the back of the, let's see, to the, well, it hooks two different places. And now I've got I have lost the word for the second place, but it's a very unusual muscle. And it's often tight. And so you're sitting with your tailbone on a brick or a sponge ball or a set of therapy balls, your choice. I'm going to use therapy balls. And then all you do is bring your legs up into tabletop. And now open and close them. Open and close. Open and close. Your legs may start shaking because this isn't a place that you work very often. Open and close. A couple more times. And then stop. Lift your hips, remove the brick or the therapy balls or whatever you have under sponge ball. We're going to do a Kihara resistant stretch for the hamstrings. Lying where you are, or if you can't reach your feet, your hand, put your hand on if you can't use your right hand to grab the right heel on the inside of your foot, on the inside, Kathy. If you can't reach there, then put some pillows behind your back. Maybe you could demonstrate this, Kathy. Put some pillows behind your back, which brings your torso closer to your hips, which would allow you to probably would allow you to reach and hold on to that foot. The idea is to hold on to onto the foot. So use the right hand to hold on to the inside edge of the heel. But if you can't do it from a supine position, then you find almost a floor seated position with pillows. Now trying to reach it and see if that works. Okay. So
easier.
What?
That's a lot easier.
That's a lot easier. Yeah. Yeah. So either way, set yourself up, grab onto the heel. This is a yoga, it's a resistance stretch for the inner hamstring. There are several hamstrings This is the inside one. And you're just going to come up. So come up, take your heel up high towards the ceiling. Okay, and then this is the strength position. Bring it down towards the inner edge of, towards the middle of your body. And then it's that up and down movement, always moving, always resisting. Up and down. This actually works the shoulders too. You'll feel that.
Oh, yeah.
So it's shoulders and hamstrings, basically. Hamstring stretch with resistance. You can see that the stretch is when your heel is high, right? You ought to be able to feel that stretch. And then when you're coming down, so make let's see, come up for 3 or 4 counts and then come down. And up. And down. How many can you guys feel it? Can you feel it, Kathy?
Oh, yeah. Right in there.
Yeah. There's 2 more, actually. We're not going to do them today, but 2 more hamstring stretches on various sides of the back of the thigh. And go ahead and switch sides and do the other side. Grab onto the heel, the inside edge of the back of the heel, and up you go. So remember, this is a Kihara resistance stretch. You're always moving and you're always resisting. So the hand resists the movement of the heel moves, but the hand resists the movement. And finish up. Come up to floor seated with your Neuro balls for hand release. Find your own favorite floor seated position. The most common thing people will choose probably is a cross-legged position. Remember, you can put your therapy balls, your half Neuro balls on a brick. You can put them in front of you or out to the side, and then you could also put them on a brick. I'm going to time 40 seconds each position. There's 6 positions. One of the things about the hand series is we get to do both of them at once. It's pretty quick. Position number 1 is just up at the top by the metatarsal mound in the middle. Try to relax your shoulders when you're doing this. I will time. And breathe. If this is a good feeling, try to hold the good feelingness. Today's a feeling practice. If this is a good feeling, hold that feeling for 17 seconds and it will expand. Guaranteed. So the feeling is separate from the action and the breath. It's just a feeling, a feel-good feeling. Okay, done. Switch to number 2, right in the middle of the palm. Oops. I almost started timing for 7 minutes. So I have all these options on my watch. I'm using my Apple Watch. All the options. Instead of pushing 40 seconds, I push 7 minutes. Okay, the third position is below the first and second, at the base of the palm. If this feels good, hold on to that idea or that feeling for 17 seconds. Okay, go ahead and find the fifth position, fourth position, outside edge of the palm. Just any place along here, just press it into the ball and find your spot. Okay. The next one, 5, is the inner edge of the hand. So it's in the webbing between the forefinger and the thumb. Find the feel good. Hold on to it. Don't let doubt or distraction take it away. Let's see, the last one is at the pad of the thumb. Okay, this series is done. You can shake your hands, open and close them. And now we're going to do side bends. We're going to do some floor seated lateral bends and twists, spinal rotations. Starting with the right hand on the floor, coming out, and then the left hand up and over. Mhm. Bring your elbow forward. Hold on to your feel good. And bring your elbow up. And bring your torso up. Other side, left hand, left arm, hand and arm. Right arm up and over. Keep your hips on the floor. Bring your top elbow forward for 20 seconds. See if you can feel good for the whole time. That's a little over 17 seconds. This is an expanding universe. Elbow and torso. What you think about expands. Okay, let's see, we did that. Let's do the spine twist. Left hand on the right knee, right arm behind you, spider fingers. Rotating at the spine though. It's not, you're not rotating with your shoulder. That's just there to provide structure. So rotate, find your spinal rotation to the right. Once you find it and maintain it, if you'd like, you can add a rib cage, slide the rib cage from side to side. This will help open up the upper back. Although the spine twist itself is opening up the upper back. You can look forward, head, nose forward or towards the right shoulder. Come on back, slowly, other side. Right hand, left knee, left hand behind you. But remember, you're not using the arm to rotate. Be sure that the rotation is in the thoracic spine. Once you find and maintain the spine twist, just the spinal rotation, if you'd like, you can move your rib cage from side to side. It's a movement I learned from an Australian physiotherapist who was working on the upper back. I was doing some research for my friend Terry about her upper back. And I thought, well, that's a cool thing to add. And slowly unravel, untangle yourself, come to center. And hold on. Let's do stacked knees just because we're here, we can do them. So stack your one knee on top of the other as best you can. You may want to sit on something to make this happen easier. And we're going to do a wrist, a prayer wrist, prayer pose at the wrist. So sitting tall, stacking your knees and bringing the fingers of your right hand forward and down so that now they're opposite. A flexion at both wrists. And I need, not sure. I'm adjusting to using a watch as a timer. It's different. Just press a little bit, press into your palms, feel the feel good and the wrists. If you do feel good, try to hold on to that for 17 seconds or more. Release and start over again with the other side, coming forward, and also switch your knees. I can't do the, I can't do the left side because get a cramp in my foot, thigh, so I'm gonna stick my leg out. Okay. Yesterday, I'm starting to walk again since my broken humerus has healed or mostly healed. So I walked 10,000, almost 10,000 steps, and I think that's where the cramp comes from.
But be careful and don't fall, please.
I'm walking. I found a walking buddy.
Oh, good.
So excited.
Oh, good.
Mom, maybe you should have a walking stick too.
I do have some sticks. I haven't been using them. Okay, that's up. That's done.
That's good.
We're going to do some shoulder stretches with a strap. I forgot to mention this. So find a strap. You can be seated on a chair. That was awful. On a chair, or you can be on the floor, or you could be standing. Actually, I'm gonna go get a strap. Where's my strap?
I think the walking stick's a good idea, Caitlin.
Do you just one or two?
Uh,
I have sets. I have two. I have actually two sets.
Well, you try both ways and see which one works better.
I was gonna say, try with one, see if it's good, and then maybe try with two, see what works for you.
Right now, it feels like they both, one or two would both be in the way. Take your strap. That's just my feeling about the whole thing.
People out walking with that looks like long distance ski poles. also.
Yeah. Mhm, mhm. I have some that look like ski poles, sort of like ski poles. Okay, strap. So you're going to start with your strap in tension in front of you. And then you're going to just bring it up overhead, up, up, up. And then as far back as you can get it. Now, as it turns out, I can only get it up to here. Not much. Kathy's going to do better than me. Come back as far as you can. And then you might be able to take the strap a little wider and come back. Oh, I can do that. There's a part that I can come back after the acromion process. So, and just stay here, sit tall, open up your chest, see how good that feels. I'm not timing because it was hard for me to push a button while I'm holding onto my strap. I am not doing that, I'm guessing. Just calm. And some of you won't get back behind you, you'll get over just overhead. And then let's go back, let's come back. I'm gonna have to grab my strap shorter and then come forward. That's one strap, number one, strap move. Like there are 3 leg stretches, there are 3 strap stretches. The next one is bring your arms overhead. Arms with strap, and then do a side bend with the strap. Let the strap help you with the side bend. Whatever that looks like for you. Come back and do a side bend on the other side. Come on back. All the way back down to have your strap in front of you. And then we're going to do shoulder flossing. Bring your arms overhead, up a strap with the strap, drop. Let's see. Let me think about this. The right arm is up. No, you're behind you. You drop it behind you. Oh, I can't do it with my arm, with my broken arm. I'm sorry. Yes, Kathy's doing it. The one arm is high, the other arm is low. They're both of them behind your back, and you're flossing. It's a flossing movement that you can find here. It's called flossing. It doesn't, you don't have to move up and down, but you can. Then come on up again. Boy, am I awkward with this. And then drop one arm behind you. The other arm is up high. And this is the flossing movement. Now, Kathy's moving. You can actually move that, make that movement move, or you can just hold it. Hold this, let the strap floss in a passive floss, either one. And
Oh, I'm sorry, I was mumbling. It feels good on my shoulder to do this.
yep, good. Hold that thought for 17 seconds.
So,
And okay, that's it. And now release the strap and shrug your shoulders. Just shrug all the way up and then release. And all the way up again, do it. You were going to do it about 5 times. And let's do one more. And now let's do something slightly different. You're going to shrug your right shoulder and drop your head towards your right shoulder. Just ear to ear, ear to shoulder.
yeah.
And release that. Release the head, release the shoulder. Shrug the other shoulder up. And you guessed it, drop the left ear to the left shoulder that is shrugged. This is just a combination of cervical side bend and shoulder shrug. And release. And shrug the right shoulder again. And look away. This is like a rotation of the cervical. Look away from the shrugged shoulder. And come back and release. Left shoulder shrug. Look away from the left shoulder. Shrug, stay here for a couple breaths and then unravel and then drop your shoulder. Okay, now we're going to come up to standing with chest opener at the wall. So with a therapy ball. So you're going to have one therapy ball. It can be small alpha, or alpha is big. Small would be plus.
Trying to figure out what I'm going to do here. Hold on.
Okay, so you're going to need a brick in front of you. For most people. Actually, some people, it sort of depends on your boobage. So you want to find the ball is going to go where the pec minor attaches. So to that corner, it's okay right there, and then put the ball there, and then put the ball on the brick. And then just compression first, just pressing in. Hopefully you feel some of this. You found your spot. This is a place where we get really tight, especially if we have bad posture or, if it can just get tight from holding our breasts, from the breasts hanging off of this area of the chest. Now, bend your knees and go up and down in that very same spot. This is going to make you feel like you can breathe better also. And I'm getting some releases in the neck. So up and down a few times. And then a small movement side to side.
That feels good.
And just know you could add things to this. You could move your arm. Not that arm, the arm that's attached to the muscle that's working. not the opposite arm, although that might not be. I just think this is a better arm to work. So moving that arm, you can't see Kathy moving her arm, but she's probably moving it out along the wall. She could move it behind herself also. So just so you know, with therapy balls, when you're releasing, you can move over the ball, up and down, side to side. You can stay still, or you can move an appendage near the ball. And that all of that will open up and release in that area. Now, Kathy, take your ball and have it up a little higher in the middle of the clavicle. Well, that's how you want to space it. It's because you're going to need the brick to be located so you can run the ball all the way along the brick. So then bring the ball out to the edge where we were working before, where the pec minor meets the arm bone, and then roll, but at the bottom underneath the clavicle. So it's a little higher than you were working. And then you're going to roll that ball all the way across to the sternum. With a little bit of pressure. Back and forth you go on this right side of the chest. Pec minor, clavicle. And just rolling. And then whenever you're finished, go to the other side. And we're going to start with just putting that ball at the corner where the pec minor meets the arm bone, the humerus, the head of the humerus. And then bend your knees and go up and down. It's a small up and down movement. And then a small side to side movement. And now relocate the brick so that you can be running all the way along the clavicle on the left side. So you just need to, sometimes the brick needs to be readjusted here. And then starting at the outside edge of the clavicle, below the clavicle, just roll over this area all the way to the sternum, the middle. And then back you go, back and forth. Should feel good. Maybe you can capture feel good for 17 seconds. as you're doing this. And stop that. What I want to do next, so that you can see if you can feel what happened here, is I want to do the back bend at the wall. And then we're going to go down and do the back bend on the floor, actually. So see if you can notice that this kind of chest opening, or probably any chest opening, helps with the back bends. So standing on the wall and taking your arms up and over, touching the wall if you can. Touching the wall with your fingertips or with your entire hand, depending on you. So keep the hips directly over the knees. So you're not thrusting your pelvis to create a back bend. You're working, you should feel this in the upper back. If it gets to be too much, if it goes to the lumbar spine, then you're doing too much. Make it a little smaller. I could have timed that. I'm just going to guess. And maybe you can feel a little bit more openness here because of the work you just did. Come on down to the unravel. Come on down to the floor for back extension. So this is another back bend. It's a back bend that does an even better job of strengthening the spinal extensors along the side of the upper back, the spine, the vertebrae, thoracic vertebrae. So lying on the floor on your belly, you may want to put a blanket underneath your pubic bone. I have to, because it's my pubic bone, just it's very bony. So bring your arms beside you. Take an inhale and lift your arms, your chest, and your head. This is beautiful. 40 seconds or less if you have to come out of it early. Well, if you're here breathing, you can try to lift your chest up just a little higher. And this looks really nice. I want to take a picture of this, actually. I can take screenshots. Come down early if you need to. And go ahead and inhale, Kathy, and exhale, come on down. Nicely done. We're going to do back bend with airplane. Same thing, except you bring your arms out. If you can't, if that's too hard for you, just keep your arms at your side. Take an inhale. And then exhale, come on up. Take another inhale, and then exhale the arms out to the side. Stay here as long as you can. Come out early if you need to, just by taking a breath and coming back. If you're here, maybe try to come up just a little higher. Nice, very nice. Airplane. A couple more breaths before we come down. Go ahead and take an inhale and then an exhale. Arms, chest, head comes down. Bring your arms out into a T. Look to the right, Lift your right leg up and bring it over the left leg. I had a private client yesterday who said that she hadn't come before. She said this was life. I did a series of stretching, including this. She was very tight. She's 20 years younger than me. She was extremely tight. She's a big walker, extremely tight around the rib cage. And she could hardly get her leg up here. But she loved it, you know. What's not to love? And she could feel the stretch and the twist. This is a spine twist starting at the hips, actually, if you think about it. But it opens up the upper back. Come out of that, come back. Look left. Lift your left leg up, bring it behind you. It was interesting because to look at her, she was in very good shape. And she walks a lot, but she doesn't stretch. She doesn't do any rotations, spine rotations. She doesn't do any side bends. All of those movements help us to keep going forward, which is what we do mostly better. Come on back. Find your way onto your back for Yoga Nidra 61-point guided meditation. I'm going to find the script for this. Turn off my video. We're going to start with breath. Just paying attention to breath. Breathing in and out. And noticing your belly as it rises and falls. And now bring your awareness and your attention to the center of your eyebrows, center of your throat, right shoulder, elbow, wrist, right thumb, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, fifth finger, right wrist, elbow, shoulder, center of throat, left shoulder, elbow, wrist, left thumb, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, fifth finger, left wrist, elbow, shoulder, center of your throat, spiritual heart center, right side of your chest, heart center, left side of your chest, heart center, navel center, center of your pelvis, right hip, knee, ankle, right big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe, right ankle, knee, hip, center of your pelvis, left hip, knee, ankle, left big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe, left ankle, knee, hip, center of your pelvis, navel center, heart center, center of your throat, center of your eyebrows. This completes the 61-point guided Yoga Nidra meditation. Now it's time to stretch. Extend your legs if they're not already extended. Bring your arms overhead. Stretch in both directions. Try to create a little more space between your pelvis and your rib cage. And wiggle and stretch and right side and left side and both sides. And then wiggling your fingers and your toes. And circling your hands, wrists, and ankles. One direction and then the other. Hug your right knee to your chest and hug your left knee to your chest. And then both knees, and rock and roll from side to side. See if you can release any tension that's left from in your lower back. This is Supine Apanasana. If you want a Sanskrit title, Apanasana. Roll all the way over to the side, towards the camera, towards the class. Take a minute here to feel good and thank yourself for bringing yourself to the class. Thank your cells for coming along for the ride and for the nutrition. Use your top hand to bring yourself up to seated. I'm going to remove the spotlight. I'm going to put my video on. I'm going to choose gallery view, but I can't choose it for you. So you could choose it for yourself. We're going to close in the ordinary fashion. You can press a little harder. See if you can find your scapula by pressing your hands together. See if you can remember how good it felt to work with the nerve balls on the hand, nerve endings in the hand. And then relax. Lift your head, the occipital ridge, away from the shoulders so that you can nod forward, nodding, bowing. The spine stays straight. The skull rolls over the top of the cervical spine. C1. Bowing, nodding, noticing the light in each of us. Knowing that we are all one light. And then closing the class by saying to each other, Namaste.
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 Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Everyone. Thank you for class. I'm going to stop the recording.